What's up, everybody? All zero people right now. That's cool. My name is Steven. I'm here with Dana. This is season 2, episode 1 of EFG LFG PST. We are trying something new. Uh, we're two parents who want to play World of Warcraft and have no time to do so. And we found that we were taking an hour out of our week every week to talk about WoW while not playing it. So we decided, let's be SMRT and play while we record. But then we realized we couldn't do meaningful content. So what we're going to do is we're going to farm mounts and pets and transmogs and all sorts of stuff. And we're starting by trying to get clothes for my monk. So, Dana, how are you?
Oh, just another Manic Monday.
It's another Manic Monday, but now you're a famous Twitch
I
streamer.
am, and I have
Um,
like the official microphone and everything to do so.
I know it's fancy. We are taking things to the next level. So everybody, Monday nights, 8 o'clock ish. Dana and I will be live doing this until we are done with the podcast, maybe a little bit longer. And so you'll be able to watch this on YouTube, and you'll also be able to listen to the audio version as a podcast by the weekend.
Sweet.
I was originally trying to shoot for Wednesdays, but it just doesn't work now that I have taken your spot as the hardcore one. So
I know, we flipped script on each other.
we definitely did. So let's hop in. I have done Nighthold once, but it was with like a giant group, and so I have no idea what we're doing.
Okay. I mean, I haven't been in here since like actual Legion, so this should be fun.
Oop, I got an error. I have an add-on that I have to get rid of, but so we just like go beat these dudes up, right?
Just depopulate.
We are only as
All
strong
right.
as
Well, let's see. All right, good. Okay, so you can kill these guys pretty easily.
Yeah. We
So
should
that's
be
a good
okay.
sign.
Bosses might take a little bit more, but we should survive.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Um, One thing I am gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to change my. I'm gonna actually have to do the thing where I pay to have my monk's name changed
Oh yeah, what you
because
gonna
I was
do?
talking. Well, right. So I am debating between. Either way, it's a either an anime joke or a video game joke because the he's either gonna be. Which way do we go? Left or right?
I
This
think
way?
it's this way. I'm pretty sure you can go
I don't
either
know.
way. Like it's two different wings, but I think this is the way to the Scorpion dude, which is the first one.
So he's either gonna be Rasengard, which is a Naruto joke,
Okay.
or I'm gonna just change him to Ryugard after the guy from Street Fighter.
Okay. I kind of like where you
Listen,
guys, but I mean, I also haven't seen Naruto. I don't understand it, but that's fine.
it's a Shonen Jump anime, so it's meant for teenage boys. So it is not.
Not that demographic.
You are you are not that
Not even a little
demographic.
bit. Okay.
All right. So
So this
Scorpion. This is a
guy
very fancy
just
name.
avoid his
what
area of
madman
effects,
possibly
basically.
breeds creature with the night wolf?
Okay.
Take this
So,
to go a lot
that's right.
faster.
We have Bloodlust.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So, all right. So this past weekend was BlizzConline,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and it was. Whoa, yeah. All right. So clearly, not having a problem with this guy. Um,
Is a
If I pick anything up
momentous day
that you want, yeah.
until the Legion came,
There-
no
Um,
outsider was
that's right.
permitted
did
to
you get
visit
any
the
mail?
corridors of the
Uh,
night
um,
not.
or leather. I mean, I don't think you did.
No, I got a shield, I got plate and cloth. Crap, crap, crap.
So useless. Anyway, so this past weekend was BlizzConline.
Yeah.
It was a. I mean, it was a lot. So this is the 30th anniversary for Blizzard,
Easy.
and so clearly they have been very busy over these last 30 years, right? And so the opening ceremonies was just jam packed with like the quick hits, like, hey, by the way, this is all the stuff we're going to be talking about. And it was kind of overwhelming. Did you get a chance to watch any of that stuff? Or were you
I was
working?
unfortunately.
Well, you're a responsible adult. So,
One that needs to actually pay the bills.
that's where they, that's where they did the piece where they actually showed us the cinematic
Oh, that's where
for 9.1. And what really kind of stinks is that a lot of that was leaked earlier on, by someone leaked the press kit that was sent to news outlets ahead of time, and so like I read it like an idiot, so it wasn't actually a spoiler. Like, it was definitely fully spoiled for me, which kind of stinks. But I mean, we're gonna talk about it all here, so I guess just be ready for it if you want to somehow not be aware of the advertising. But so what do you think about Anduin being the Lich King?
I am not surprised that that's like the direction that they went, because they kind of set it up perfectly for that. So that was kind of spot on for them. I am curious about the fact that like he momentarily kind of like slipped out of the mind control after he
Yeah.
hit the lady. um
Yeah.
but it's definitely interesting for sure. I saw the cinematic like halfway through in the beginning, because I just saw him doing the jump out of the smoke or whatever, and I was like, wait, hold up, why is there a second Lich King? What's going on? And then I was able to finally watch the full cinematic, and I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up pretty well. I am I mean, we talked about this before, right? We did our predictions for where we thought the rest of the expansion was going to go, and both of us predicted that they were going to turn Anduin and we were going to have to fight him. I mean, we don't know that we're going to have to yet, but so in order for us to fight him, clearly he needs to be evil,
Right.
so there is that.
Yeah, I was 100% sold on the fact that we were gonna fight him, but I mean, it makes sense. It was imprisoned,
Yeah, I
and they were
mean,
threatening to be like, force him to do stuff for them.
well, I mean, how are we going to free him if we don't fight him? I mean, it feels like that's
Fair.
WoW. I mean, this is Warcraft.
This is true. You are not
We're
wrong.
not gonna like we're not gonna like picking flowers.
I mean, some people like picking flowers.
Yeah, but while that would be awesome if like in order to free him you had to like pick a certain amount of flowers to kind of keep things going, but so I mean that was the first thing they showed us. I mean, obviously they talked about all of Blizzard's games, but the just that trailer, and then they gave us some details about 9.1, and then told us basically to come back in an hour when they would go into more details. And so I actually have the article from Wowhead that is basically everything we know about 9.1. So I figure while we absolutely turbo murder these bosses, at this rate I think we probably could have done Mythic.
That's not the best.
Oh, I know. That much I know, because he was too easy. So, and by the way, hello everybody in the chat. We got some couple folks watching.
Oh.
Thank you. We are recording a podcast while we play World of Warcraft because we are too busy to not. We just can't lose the time.
We gotta learn multitask.
We are multitasking, so we're streaming while we record it. Our transmog closets are going to get so big, and our mount collections are going to grow as we do all this stuff. So I'll just go right down the list, because this guy is clearly kind of trivial. And
The palace
all right,
grounds are just ahead. You'll find them even
have we even gotten a single piece of leather yet?
I don't think so. I've gotten a bunch of cloth and plate and trinkets.
This is just yeah, lots of trinkets. This is just maddening. Okay, so going right down the list. Here is what they told us. So the first thing, and this was the question that I had, and they didn't really address it initially, is when is it coming? So we know that 9.0.5, which is like the mini patch, is going to be sometime in March.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, which I would guess would be at least a week, probably more, 9.1 will go onto the PTR. And then we've got 4 or 5, then we would have 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer, maybe less, for test realms for the new patch before it goes. And there's a lot of new systems and whatnot that they announced.
really?
So I suspect, yes, there's a lot of stuff. So I suspect that this is even one that could end up cooking for longer.
Yeah. I guess it's probably
And-
like June, July, somewhere around there.
Well, March, 5-6 weeks. So let's say 8 weeks after March. I mean, May at the earliest.
Yeah.
But if it comes out the last week of March, if 9.0.5 is the last week of March, then yeah, you're right. It could be in June. So we're looking at summertime,
Yeah.
really, before the first patch comes out, which I think is pretty good. I'd be happy with that. It gives us plenty of time to beat Sire Denathrius. And so they didn't give specifics. They won't commit to a specific date. That makes sense. You know, they don't do that. Too much can change. Then the next piece, this Wowhead article is really well organized. So if you want more information and not just to listen to me, you can always go to that article. But so they talked about like raid and dungeon content, and that's obviously the stuff that now all of a sudden I'm super interested in now that I'm a hardcore raider. Which we did not see coming.
No. I know. I definitely expected me to be the hardcore one and you to just pop on randomly. And now it's like I'm the one that pops on randomly.
Well, it happens. Everybody changes every once in a while. So all right. So the big one is the next tier of rating, which is the Sanctum of Domination. So Sanctum of Domination is it's in the Maw.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a 10 boss raid that ends with a fight against Sylvanas.
Which
Now,
is amazing.
yeah. Now they haven't. There's a lot of people rolling around on the internet trying to figure out what that means. Are we fighting her? Are we
Breaking some kind
you
of
know,
like
is she?
mind control.
Yeah, like what are we doing now? They did indicate that it's apparently going to be like one of the most epic fights of all time. Now that makes sense because it's Sylvanas.
Right.
But some of the other bosses will be the Terror Gru, which is the big giant like scary monster thing from Torghast.
Okay. That's the thing that comes after you when you fail, right? Oh, look, helmet
Yes.
for you.
What? Oh my goodness.
Leather.
At long last,
Wait, let's see.
battle to
Put it on.
liberate Suramar is joined.
Oh, that is the helmet that I want.
Sweet.
Our resistance
Sweet.
hide in the
You can
So-
go in any of these like 4 directions.
I don't know. Let's just go. Always go left.
Okay.
That's a rule in dungeon crawling. Always go left. So 10 bosses. It ends with Sylvanas, which we don't know the specifics, but I think personally, I can't wait to fight her. I hope we get to kill her, but you never know.
It's probably gonna be like what's her bucket? Queen Ajara. Where it's gonna be like she has 1 hit point and she gets like taken away.
Yeah. Oh, she's not gonna. I mean, that is fine with me. Like she's a main character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean they've
Like,
killed off
I am fine with her.
chieftains, so it's not like that's an unheard
Yeah,
of
but like,
thing.
but this is like
This
Sylvanas.
is true. We can also go up.
Let's go wherever you want to go.
Okay.
We got to kill them all
This is
anyway. So she is like I think she's just too big of a deal to just kill in a middle patch. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
She would have to be like
if she
end
go,
of the expansion type to really.
yeah, if she gonna die. Oh, who the heck is this dude?
Oh, this
He's
was
a
this
hot
was a
mess.
fun fight back in the day. This one was so great.
So now we're just gonna punch him. So, and I don't mind punching. Let's just get him gone. So some of the other bosses that are going to be in there are Kel'Thuzad, the Terror Grew, and the literal Eye of the Jailer, which is kind of neat. The interesting impact of having the Terror Grew in there is, I think I actually have these shoulders. Oh no, I don't have these shoulders. Sweet. So he is no longer going to be in Torghast, which it seems to mean, and I don't know if this is actually correct, that there will be no more penalty for dying in Torghast.
Oh, okay. Which could be
But,
good.
which could be, I mean, we're going to find out. That, and we'll talk about Torghast more in a little bit. So, we know this is the new raid. There are new armor sets. There are new weapons, but these are not the tiered armor sets, because they were talking about doing another armor tier for, and it's not going to be this.
Okay.
That's going to come later.
But there's gonna be like new.
But there's
items.
new armor.
Yeah.
It looks like the armor in here appears to be like the legendaries.
Okay. So is it like just like a recoloration type of thing?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different tints of the legendary armor, which, as a leather wearer, on my monk at least, it looks awesome. I definitely won't be wearing that set on my paladin because it looks terrible. I'm not a big fan of the plate, but you know, the mail and the leather set looks good.
That's cool.
So,
I don't think I know what all the legendaries look like as a set.
well, for those listening, and for you, there is a link on Wowhead that actually shows all the images, and they are pretty cool. I think the mail, like, what's interesting is all of them have cool pieces, but I think they all end up being, like, they all have cool pieces, but as a whole, like, I don't think there's any one clear winner. I just think the mail one is just not my shtick.
Yeah.
The cloth one legit looks like a ring wraith. Like, they legitimately are. I'm going the right way, right?
Yeah.
So,
kind of cut the
yeah.
corner a little bit on this to save time, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We could just run. We fight him over here.
So yeah, I mean, I would definitely encourage everybody to take a look at it, but they're the same models as what we use for our legendaries. So if you were looking at the legendaries and figuring out what you wanted from that, then that's what your appearance is going to look like. Only they're recolors, you know, red, yellow. There's a green one that looks kind of cool. I like the gold tint for the leather one. Kind of, you know what it kind of looks like? Remember Black Panther?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Black Panther?
Yeah, I did.
You know Killmonger's armor?
Yeah.
Picture like that with like the gold accents, but with like a bone exoskeleton over it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that is the Sanctum of Domination. I am very much looking forward to that. Again, now that I'm crazy. But they also are adding a mega dungeon that I originally was like super excited, like, oh wow, is this like a first time for that? And the answer to that is no, because it's going to be just like Mechagon.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was a mega dungeon.
Oh, because it started off that way, and then when it turned into a key, they split it into two.
They split it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, but now I get it. Originally, I was just like, oh man, they've never done this before. And then one of our guildmates was like, bruh. But,
Dodge these.
I mean...
Not that they probably hurt
don't...
super bad, but... They used to one-shot
don't get
people.
blowed up.
Yeah.
Why is there 2 of this guy now?
He splits out
Weird.
into 3. Yeah. These things. Because, you know, we gotta be extra.
Yeah, he's mad.
Yeah.
This dude's
well,
big
he's a
mad.
botanist.
We got him.
Oh, look, more plate that I can't use.
I mean, we're gonna be able to vendor all this stuff. It'll be nice.
This is true. We can actually do it right now.
So the palace gardener turned himself into
Ooh,
a plant.
yeah, good idea.
What can I say? He took his job seriously.
He did, in fact, take his job very
did.
seriously.
Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles. Like you.
And here I am trying to. So I got the hood,
You have the shoulders.
and well, the shoulders are from a different set. I don't know what it is, but the shoulders are. I mean, those shoulders are nice, but they're from a different set. Because the shoulders for the set that I'm like chasing in here are, they have like orbs on them.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Wait, oh, you're supposed to mount up in here.
Yeah. Because you can.
All right, well, hold on. I'm on my old janky dinosaur trying to find you. Here you go. So, so the mega dungeon is is called Tazavesh, the Veiled Market.
That sounds
And
like
so
a
what that is-
mouthful.
Yeah, I'm sure we're just gonna call it TVM or Taz. And so this is it's in a broker city. So the brokers are the dudes that live in Ouroboros. And so we are going to be going to one of their trading markets
Interesting.
and learning about them. Obviously, it's going to get, from what you said, it's going to get broken down later when they give it mythic keys. But right now, it's going to be a mythic-only dungeon that will have no mythic plus. And it's 8 bosses, and so it's a bunch of brokers doing stuff, and then one of them is a member of the Infinite Dragonflight who happens to be a pirate. With a pirate with like a hook on his tail and a pirate hat.
Because of course.
No joke, because of course, why wouldn't you do that? I'll take left, you go right.
Okay.
And I think that it is the most hysterical thing. So, and a bunch of the other bosses are, they're various different kinds of brokers that have different kinds of jobs.
We're going down those stairs.
Okay. And, they showed off some of the loot. It looks okay. I mean, it's a different rewards, different kinds of weapons. There's a mount. There are pets. The standard drill. I think it looks pretty cool.
Sweet.
And so we're gonna learn all sorts of stuff from about what the brokers are all about in that dungeon. The other thing they talked about, and this is just kind of dungeon raid, I guess you can call Torghast, is so the death counter is gone.
Oh,
That's the first
okay.
thing. Terragru's death counter is gone. Because he's a boss in the Sanctum of Domination. I guess they wanted to deal with, the narrative dissonance of us murdering him on a weekly basis, and yet he is still in there being a jerk. Excuse me. They're adding some new layers and rewards for twisting corridors. They are basically new everything. They're adding new powers, there's apparently a new wing with a whole new aesthetic. They showed off these big dudes that have they showed off and they were really like giant dudes that were like they were almost picture like a rook in chess that like came to life. I'm supposed to just punch this guy, right?
And I think because he does like something down the sides, like left and right, like that, like avoid that.
I would 100% would have gotten killed. So he is so they're adding. All right, so here we go. They're adding new layers. The monsters that I'm talking about, picture like a rook from chess, just like getting up, and it's got like these big tubey arms, and there are a few of them that are made out of like that metal, but some of them are look like they're made out of like bricks, and so there's some of those enemies, and it has not only a new aesthetic but a new theme, etc. And that's rogue only, so it doesn't help me.
Aw, nuts.
But I did get the monk one, so
I didn't look, I just saw leather.
I get it. I got excited for a second too, but I was like, why is it red? So they're also going to add new anima powers. They didn't tell us what they were, but they're adding more. So it's going to get more and more bigger. I would presume that the twisting corridors are going to get longer.
Probably.
And, we don't know what they are. They're also talking about a rating or a score system so that you can earn partial credit if you don't make it through a run.
Huh.
So basically, you're playing Torghast, you get all the way to the last level, which on some of these will be, the last room, and it's bananas, and you die. In this case, you might get a smaller reward.
Okay.
But you don't get nothing. So they haven't really worked on it.
I like not getting nothing.
They aren't ready to
so
tell
that's
us.
good.
Yeah, I like not getting nothing. So they did address raid itemization. I'll go left, you go right. And specifically saying that they want to fix it. And honestly, I think that for me, that feels like that needs to be one of the highest priorities. Is that like people just anecdotally. There are a lot of people that I know of that have been really frustrated by the way loot gets distributed.
I'm one of those people. It's just more of the percentage of drops. Like, I've been doing this for how long, and how many times have I killed them, and how much loot have I gotten? Like, I've killed the bosses each probably like 7 or 8 times, and I've gotten like 3 pieces.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've already upped the amount of loot to come out, and they are trying to figure out a way to make them more, because obviously they have 4 more raid tiers, right? I mean, so they've got more stuff to do, so that'll be interesting to see.
We're spending a lot of time in this room.
Yeah, we got to kill all these guys,
Correct.
right?
Until then, I'll amuse myself by cleaning up their mess.
After we kill this boss, I'm gonna do some social sharing. So they addressed. So at least they addressed it and said that they're going to try and figure it out. They are aware of the problem, which honestly is impressive to me. Like, I would have thought that they would have been a little bit more blind to it.
Yeah, it's nice for them to just like they could have acknowledged it and been like, "What's up, nuggies?" Basically, like you get what you get. Sorry, but I'm glad that they've at least acknowledged that it's a chronic problem and they're willing to fix it. So.
Agreed, right? Because it is a chronic problem. They've already upped the loot once. But I think there's another issue of just giving us more ways. Because I know I have made it through an entire full clear of a dungeon, of like the raid, and gotten nothing out of it.
Yeah.
And you definitely have. And I'm less concerned about like specific drops. You know what I mean? Like because I mean I understand how loot works, but to go with nothing is just kind of brutal.
Yeah.
So, and again, they reiterated that we're getting tier sets. I think that's probably for me like the most exciting feature that I know the least about because I left when tier sets were a thing, and then all of a sudden I came back and I remember the first night that I was in guild, just kind of talking, being like, all right, so like, where am I supposed to get my tier set? Like, what should I be running? Because I love those things, and they were like, oh, sweetie, you sweet summer child,
I think tonight's fire.
because they ain't a thing. Or am I supposed
Catch
to?
that Orby.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? And where am I supposed to go? The
Night
Night
Spire.
Spire or the Arc? Here we go. And so I am super excited to see what that is with like set bonuses and all that. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I
And
always love like tier sets.
yeah. And now that I have multiple characters to get them on, like it gives me a reason to try and go to all these places and do all of these things. So I am quite excited. Like I need it for more than just the transmog. Like, oh goodness, that's gonna be so cool. So, they're adding a new zone.
Oh.
We knew that they were gonna do that.
I mean, yeah, they usually
But
do. But where is it gonna be?
well, you remember at the end of that trailer where what's his face, the jailer, was like looking at a landmass that was attached to where he was standing by chains.
Yes.
The landmass is at the end of those chains. And it is called Korthia.
Oh no!
It's an
Do
outdoor
I have to
zone.
run the chains to get there? Because that's not gonna go well.
I hope not. I hope not. No, if you do, you're just gonna either let your boyfriend at the keys.
Right.
Although I don't know if that's dangerous, letting him at the keys.
Eh.
That could be trouble. Or you're going to give me your username and password and let me do it for you. But no, I don't think you have to do that. Basically, he pulled... So there's all the land masses that surround Oribos, right? Like the Covenant lands. And then in between them is the in-between.
Right.
Not to be confused with the Upside Down. And so this is a landmass that he used those chains to pull out of the in-between, right? And so it is... It has a lot of stuff about the first ones, which are, very plot related. There's cool monsters there that we didn't have before. There are new quests. There are new, rewards to get, new mounts to get, all sorts of stuff. Apparently the Dreadlords will be there. They've made that very clear. And so what I think is what I'm really excited about this are, number one, just some of the critters and some of the monsters, just to have some new stuff to fight. But new quest lines are obviously a very big deal.
Yeah.
And this is where the story is going to continue. And so that's part of it, right? What we don't know is we don't know how many quest lines. We know they're going to have dailies there. I'm frozen. I don't know if that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, she time stops and brings everything back twice, so we have to kill her 3 times.
Oh, cool. Well, isn't that nice?
Nice. I was like, man,
So
it's down a lot faster than I remember, and then I was like, oh, gotta kill it multiple times.
well, yeah. So we're still waiting for more information. Like, they didn't tell us if there's a new rep or the last time. Like, remember when they added the Najatar in BFA, there was new crafting professions stuff, new ore and herbs to get. So, I mean, that could be a thing. We don't really know. I'm excited for the story stuff.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm here for.
For sure. Oh, it's a rogue again. Dang.
I know, I'm getting killed here. So,
I think it's...
here's the really exciting stuff. And forget all this other stuff. How about the ability to complete some quests in the Maw and be able to use your mounts?
That's going to be fantastic. That will honestly probably get me to actually go in there a lot more often. Go to Font of Night.
Well, that's, from what I understand, I think that's this. We spent the first... Oh, look at this. Oh, is that him? Oh. Oh, that's like actual Gul'dan,
Yeah.
not like jokey Gul'dan. Is this the last boss? Oh, all right, cool. We did it. So, so the Maw is we're basically gonna bring the Covenants are mad because of what happened in the trailer. So we're gonna be bringing the Covenants with us into the Maw, and they're going to be helping us build a foothold there. So as a result, we're going to be able to complete quests and get our mounts to work in the Maw, and there will be new quests, new places to explore. We're going to get a quest line that's specifically for the Eye of the Jailer to figure out what it is and how it works.
Okay.
And like, we don't know how we're going to unlock riding in the mount. You know, we assume it's going to be tied to a quest line that will be unlocked through Renown, but we don't know. But, you know, it's going to be awesome. One thing that is worth mentioning is that Venari is going to have a different currency in 9.1. So you don't have to save your Stygia.
Oh, God.
You spend it on the stuff that you need now, or don't. And you'll still be able to get Stygia, probably by killing rares. But she is going to be collecting a new currency in the new patch, and we know there's going to be new mounts. There are, including one of them is a giant hand.
What?
That you ride in, like one of those armored hands off one of the big undead guys.
Like a joke of a mage hand type of thing. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but it's big enough to sit on. There's a saddle where the wrist would be.
Right.
And then there's a cool demon bone horse thing, which is cool. I mean, that is boring. We knew about that. Are we supposed to kill this guy?
Kill the extra dude. The Dizorix.
I gotta figure out how to get these giant green
go.
bars. I never
go up towards the bubble because he's gonna yeet us backwards.
How come your guy can get it? Well, I can make a tiger. Oh, he's immune anyway.
Yeah,
what the heck?
he's just gonna be a little butt face.
He's a buff face. So that's what we know about the mod. Basically, it's gonna. You know what it feels like to me
goodbye.
is it feels like.
Forgot about that.
What?
He yeeted me off.
Did you get yeeted off?
I did.
Oh, so I got to do this by myself?
Yeah, have fun. You got this. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
I mean, I'm not super worried.
If we screw it up, we'll do it again. It's fine. Oh, you got into the angry part. Cool. All right, Cat.
I don't know what I'm. Can I do it?
No, you gotta keep.
All right. All right. So, it's basically like a reboot of the Maw, and I agree. Oh, there we go.
Nailed it. Oh,
Wait.
cinematic.
Oh, because is this the end of Legion?
Yes.
No. The end of Legion is in space, right?
Oh yeah.
Or was that the end of Warlords? Speaking of Gul'dan, one of the things they talked about. One of the things they talked about in regards to the domination, the Sanctum of Domination, is that there's gonna be somebody in there who is especially evil, that is there just for the jailer's torment. And so, they said they can't wait for us to try and guess who all it's gonna be.
I think it's.
You know what I mean?
You have seen what I have.
Who do you think it's gonna
Hold
be?
on, the one we just killed.
You know what.
That would be pretty awesome.
Who do you think it's gonna be?
Mortals
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know enough about this game. Gul'dan's a good
into
guess.
the abyss.
Because he's a bad guy. I mean, he's the bad guy. So,
It'd be interesting if it was Toronto.
Wait, do you want me to res you?
Oh, I'm coming back up. I'm almost there.
So we know Tyrande is. They didn't talk a lot about where Tyrande is, by the way. I mean, we know where she. I mean, we got to find her eventually. So what else? So for covenants, well, I mean, how can I talk about this? They're also giving us flying mounts.
Yeah.
in 9.1.
So exciting.
So, yeah, right. Do we talk to Khadgar to get
Yeah,
out of here?
if you want to. I figured I'd just hard.
I don't know. He doesn't do it.
No.
He's being a butt.
We used to just like yeet ourselves off and then res or release.
That seems like a lot of extra work. So, well, we can just hang out here until we're done
Okay.
then. So they're adding in 9.1. We're getting flying. Now it's not going to be automatic. We're going to have to get the Pathfinder.
Right.
But Pathfinder is not tied to reputations like it was. It is now explicitly tied to just a quest line. So it's probably going to be tied to renown. So my recommendation to everybody is make sure you are renown capped on whatever character you're going to be trying. Which shouldn't be that hard. I mean, everybody should be getting pretty close to that now. And if you miss it, the catch-up mechanics are very easy. Just do a little LFR, and you get a bunch very quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get them off of boss kills, right?
And from bosses. So really, if you just do the content that you like, I found that for me, it's really fast to just go knock it out with some LFR.
Yeah.
I got my priest almost all the way caught up just doing LFR, and I'm going to do that with my monk because it's very fast to do that. So we know we're getting flying. They've said that it's going to be once per account, so just like in BFA. So we're going to be ready. It's going to be great. They are going to have new flying mounts. New Covenant perks and other stuff. My favorite part about the Covenant rewards in this patch is that they're gonna have a Covenant transmog set that is armor agnostic, meaning anyone will be able to wear it, no matter what kind of armor you're wearing.
Oh, that's cool.
And because you know that I've been talking about for my paladin how I've wanted to have him wear cloth, because that's how he heals. And the Kyrian transmog set is basically what would have been like priest tier gear back in vanilla.
Sweet. That'll be perfect then.
So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be great. And they're so they're cosmetic sets, so they're really just looks that you get, kind of like cloaks, which I think is really cool, and I think that's design space that they haven't really messed around with. They've done it with backpacks, but they haven't really done it with armor. And so, hopefully for me, it is a... for me, I hope that they use that as kind of inspiration to just let us transmog anything into anything.
That would be great, because I would love to be able to wear some either plate or cloth or leather stuff, or like that. Those sets on my shaman.
Agreed. And realistically, I think especially if they're going to bring back tier sets, right? Because people want those. And so having gear that says, warrior or paladin or monk only, maybe don't let me transmog into druid specific gear. Right, as a paladin. But the stuff that is not druid only, why not? Or and so that actually adds, I think that means that'll give the creative the creative transmog community so many more options for how to make their characters look however they want.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that just makes perfect sense to me. Like, really, who cares if people want to get really crazy and crazy and decorative? Why not let them? And it also turns into a gold sink, because there will be people who will have a separate transmog for just like walking around town.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then another one for in combat if they could have like plain clothes. So the more transmog they let us do, maybe it could be a little bit more nominally more expensive if you're transmogging plate into cloth or something like that.
Right.
They are adding new soulbind powers.
Okay.
And new conduits. Apparently, there will be empowered conduits, which allow players to empower existing conduits for extra power or additional effects. They had no examples to provide them. There are no plans to add new Soulbind characters. So it looks like right now the 3 that we have are the 3 that we get.
Okay.
I think that's fine. I mean, I think the 3 Soulbinds are pretty good.
Yeah.
The only person I feel bad for is the Druids with their 4 specs, but everybody else we're good.
Yeah, for sure.
So we know about flying. I'm just kind of going through the list now. I mean, we know about flying, which is super awesome. Is that going to make this game so much easier? They did not say whether or not they would be increasing the number of legendaries we would be able to wear. I think that's inevitable. I think by the end of the expansion, it's going to be 2 or 3, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I know we were able to wear 2 by the end of Legion, but it took a while for us to be able to wear a second one.
Yeah. They specifically called out that they were really happy with Threads of Fate, the leveling experience, and I think you and I will probably experience some of that as we do this podcast and we run out of transmogs to get. So the Threads of Fate was pretty successful, and they are looking to improve it and tune it, and I think that makes sense, right? You know, now that they have people running through these quest lines, they can definitely go in and try and maybe there are some places that don't give good enough rewards, or maybe it's a little broken. And like my oldest son, he was playing through, and he actually got into Warlords of Draenor and found out that it was faster for him to just kill elites at one point than it was to do quests. And I don't know if that's intended. So he was just running around as his gnome hunter, just like turbo murdering these elites. And it also could be that maybe those elites should be a little bit tougher. Like, that's one thing that I think is going to be balanced a little bit, is they are definitely going to find ways to balance it so that content is less trivial when you're inside it.
Yeah.
You know? But they also don't want to discourage people from running old content like we just did.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It's a balance.
So
they gotta figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did it.
Yay.
Here we go. We did our first live streamed episode of EFG LFG PST. Everybody, thanks for listening and watching. If you want to listen to it, you can find us. If you want to listen to future episodes, you can find us on you can just search for EFG LFG PST on your podcast service of choice, or if you want to watch us on the YouTubes, you can go to engagefamilygaming.com/YouTube, and you'll find this channel here, because here we are, just a couple of parents trying to make the most of our time. Dana, thank you for becoming a famous Twitch streamer with me.
Just another day's work.
Just another day's work. Everybody, have a great night. We will see you soon, and until next time, don't forget to get your family game on. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.